times in one night. Oh, hi. Hi. Welcome to the Jib. This bi-weekly podcast is about the many and varied schemes of the many and varied U.S. law enforcement and intelligence agencies, organizations, and committees, and how they are stupid and and just funny. Join us on our merry journey through space and time. Hi, I'm Barry, and I never knew what Willis was talking about either.
Okay, good one. Hello, everybody. My name is Seamus, and you may know me from my failed musical adaptation of Blood Meridian.
Blood.
Yeah. I blame the casting of Pauly Shore in the role of Judge Holden as a harbinger for failure, you know?
Well, they made a movie out of the road.
Yeah. Dustin Hoffman's portrayal of the kid was also a little,
but very convincing.
Yeah, he tried.
He really gets into that method, doesn't he?
Right.
Yeah.
So,
yep. This episode is a little bit different. We didn't come here to discuss the casting of Blood Meridian. Instead, we're here. I haven't seen this thing at all. Amos just wants me to go in blind. So no reading, no research. This is what we should have done with Chesh, but that's a different question. Okay. Okay. All right. I guess just kick it off, right?
All right. Hey, Barry.
Yeah.
January 30th, 1835.
1835. Okay.
Yep. Just outside the Capitol building, a house painter named Richard Lawrence attempted to shoot President Andrew Jackson with two pistols.
Okay.
Both of which, I can speak. Both of which misfired. Later, somebody tried the two pistols, and both worked fine. Lawrence was apprehended after Jackson beat the ever-loving shit out of him with his cane.
Jackson himself.
Yes. Old Hickory. Yeah.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
They bred him different back then, didn't they?
Yep. Lawrence was found not guilty by reason of insanity and confined to a mental institution until his death in 1861.
Fair
so
enough.
This was kind of also the kind of time whenever people could just, roll up on the White House and check shit out. So speaking of Andrew, that's
there
good,
is.
By the way.
It's also the time when people could, own other people.
Yeah. So, anywho, February 23rd, 1861.
Okay.
President-elect Lincoln passed through Baltimore amid threats of the Baltimore plot. For those that listened to the Pinkerton episode,
yeah,
that's what that was about. There was this plot to murder him before the inauguration, and Alan Pinkerton supposedly was able to thwart that assassination attempt. So,
thus advancing the prestige of the Pinkerton Agency.
Yeah. So, I have a picture of there's Lincoln. So,
That's an AI, is it?
No, you don't. That's you don't recognize it?
It's Daniel Day-Lewis.
It is, yes.
I'll be honest, I was making a joke about the AI there.
Fair. You got me. August 1864, a lone rifle shot fired by an unknown sniper missed Lincoln's head by inches, passing through his hat as he rode in the late evening, unguarded north of the White House, 3 miles to Soldiers' Home, which was his regular retreat whenever he worked and slept before returning to the White House following morning. Near 11 p.m., Private John W. Nichols of the Pennsylvania 150 volunteers, the sentry on duty at the gate, entered the Soldiers' Home ground, heard the rifle shot. Moments later, saw the president riding towards him, bareheaded. That's naked back then, right? Lincoln described the matter to Ward Lamon, his old friend and loyal bodyguard.
Okay.
So
back then, I guess presidents didn't really have a security detail then. They just do whatever they wanted to walk around town. Okay.
April 14th, 1865, Ford's Theater, Washington, D.C., 10:15 p.m., John Wilkes Booth left a bad review for Our American Cousin. Nothing else to talk about there.
No.
So,
but apart from that, Mrs. Lincoln, how was the play?
Exactly. Which one? Okay, so July 2nd, 1881.
Okay.
President Garfield was shot by Charles J. Godot, a disgruntled office seeker. He was part of the noise cult. I don't know if you remember whenever we did an episode on the noise cult on that other show once upon a time.
I do not remember.
Yeah, he's
We
a
can
very
do it again. If I don't remember, we can do it
Okay.
again.
he's
It's
a very
cheap episode now.
yeah, he's a very deranged gentleman. Anyways, this was in Baltimore at the Potomac Railroad Station,
Oh, okay.
Washington D.C.
So
Garfield
this is
died.
an accurate enough rendition then.
He died from his wounds, which actually, it was not actually the gunshot wound that killed him. It was the treatment given to him because they were obsessed about getting the bullet out.
Oh,
And they actually brought in Alexander Graham Bell,
Yep, I heard this. Yeah.
who had a magnet detector, right? And he was trying to get the ball out while they were doing was getting the metal of the bed frame. So they're digging through him. That's what ended up killing him. So
And check out the dandy on the right who's considering his options.
oh dear heavens!
Hello, the president appears to be shot.
September 6th, 1901.
1901. Okay.
Yep. President McKinley
Oh,
shot by Leon Kazagos. I'm not going to get that name right. An anarchist while attending the Pan American Exposition in Buffalo, New York. He died on September 14th, 1901, from gangrene caused by his wounds. After the assassination of William McKinley, Congress had formally requested the Secret Service to provide presidential protection. A year later, the Secret Service assumed the full-time responsibilities for presidential protection. But before that, Secret Service was just dealing with counterfeit, fitter, and shit like that. You know what I mean? So, yeah. And if there ever was any sort of protection on the president, it was kind of piecemealed between different organizations.
Just a bodyguard.
And sometimes the Pinkertons were those involved.
Okay.
So, I don't know if you pick it up on a theme on any of those. I don't know. So,
Justice served. Justice served. That's the theme, isn't it?
Anywho, October 14th, 1912.
McKinley looks like he's about to break into it. It's just an absolutely insane solo in the middle of an Elton John track.
He's breaking out the twist, right? Yeah.
Saturday.
October 14th, 1912.
Okay.
While running for his third term as president.
Roosevelt.
Yep. Old Teddy Roosevelt on the Progressive Party ticket. He was shot by John Fleming Schrank. Despite his wound, he survived. He traveled to conduct his speech that he had planned. Basically, I'd say between 2 and 3 hours from the time he was shot before he ever received any sort of medical treatment.
That man was a tank, though.
Yeah.
He was a man of nature.
Yeah. But far from my favorite president, I'll leave it at that. Not
No, but he was a
fan of the
tank.
guy. Yeah. So I was gonna do pictures for every single one of these, but it kind of gets boring after a while, honestly. So I'm just gonna chuck up the White House.
That is the White House, yeah.
Yeah. So
I keep expecting. I've seen too many movies. I keep expecting it to be blown up,
or on fire or something.
or on fire or something. Yeah, I've seen too many science fiction movies. You know.
Yeah.
The matchstick model of the White House gets blown up in every good movie.
November 19th, 1928, President-elect Herbert Hoover embarked on a 10-nation goodwill tour.
He never got shot.
Central and South America. While crossing the Andes Mountains from Chile, an assassination plot by Argentinian anarchists, why cannot I say that today, was thwarted. The group was led by Suravino di Giovanni, who planned to blow up his train as it crossed the Argentinian Central Plain. The plotters had an itinerary, but the bomber was arrested before he could place the explosives on
Sergio.
Yeah. February 15th, 1933.
Okay.
17 days before FDR, his first inauguration, Giuseppe Zangara fired 5 shots at Roosevelt in Miami, Florida.
Well, he's an
Zangara's
Italian.
What's that?
He's an Italian. Is he another Italian anarchist?
Yeah. Missed the president-elect, but Zangara was mortally wounded by Chicago. I'm sorry. He did mortally wound Chicago Mayor Anton Chernak and injured 4 other people. Zinger pled guilty to murder of Semek and was executed in the electric chair March 20th, 1933.
In Illinois, I guess.
In 1940, sorry, that was 1933. He was executed. In 1943, Soviet NKVD claimed to have discovered a Nazi German Waffen SS plan to assassinate Roosevelt, Winston Churchill, Joseph Stalin at the Tehran Conference.
At the which conference?
So, the Tehran Conference.
Okay.
Mid 1947, we're not sure about the date. During the Jewish insurgents in Palestine before the formation of the Zionist state Israel, the Zionist parliamentary organization Lahi, I think, was alleged to have sent a number of letter bombs addressed to the president and high-ranking staff officials at the White House. At the time of the incident, was not published, but Truman's daughter, Margaret Truman, disclosed the incident in her biography. It was published in 1972. The allegation was previously disclosed in a memoir by Ira R.T. Smith, who worked in the mailroom. According to Truman, the Secret Service was alerted by British intelligence after similar letters had been sent to high-ranking British officers. They claimed credit. The mailroom of the White House intercepted the letters intended for Truman, and the Secret Service diffused them.
That's not terrorism, though, because they're Zionists.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
If you call that terrorism, you're anti-Semitic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. November 1st, 1950.
1950.
Two Puerto Rican pro-independent activists, Oscar Colazar and Grilso Torrezola.
Oh, excuse me, do you mean Puerto Rico?
Thank you.
Okay.
Attempted to kill President Truman again.
Okay.
At the Blair House when Truman was living while the White House was undergoing major renovations. That's what you get for wanting to do paint design. You know what I mean? So
where's the Blair House? Do you know?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I've heard of it before.
It's Washington, D.C., is it?
Has to be. Yeah.
Okay.
Or somewhere in the area, right? In the attack, Torres was injured White House policeman Joseph Downs and mortally wounded White House policeman Leslie Colvett. Colvett returned fire, killing Torrezo, so he took him out, on the way out.
Pretty serious.
That's the way to go, right? If you're going to go out, might as well take some fucker with you.
That's my plan.
Shot him in the head. Nice, well done. Torrezo wounded an officer before being shot in the stomach. He survived with serious injuries. Colvett died of his wounds 4 hours later in the hospital. Truman was unharmed, but was placed at higher risk. Corlezo was convicted in a federal trial and received his death sentence. Okay. Truman, though, commuted his death sentence to life in prison. 1979, President Carter further commuted his sentence as time served.
Same guy.
Yeah.
1970.
79, so he's probably older by then, right?
Yeah, he must have been ancient.
Yeah.
December
11th, 1960, while vacationing in Palm Beach, Florida. What's that?
Eisenhower, is it?
Nope. President-elect John F. Kennedy was threatened by Richard Paul Pavlik, a 74-year-old former postal worker, driven by hatred of Catholics. Pavlik intended to crash. It says the Irishman. Pavlik intended to crash his dynamite-laden 1950s Buick into Kennedy's vehicle, but he changed his mind after seeing Kennedy's wife and daughter, and said, "Bid him a good day." Pavlik was arrested 3 days later by Secret Service after being stopped for a driving violation. Police found the dynamite in his car and arrested him. On January 27th, 1961, Pavlik was committed to the United States Public Health Service Mental Hospital in Springfield, Missouri. The incident for threatening Kennedy's life 7 weeks later. The charges were dropped, though, in December of 63, 10 days after something happened in Dallas. Judge Emmett Clay Code ruled that Pavlik was unable to distinguish between right and wrong in his actions, but kept him in a mental hospital. The federal government also dropped charges in August 64. Pavlik was eventually released from the New Hampshire State Hospital, and December 13th, 1966, he died in 1975 at age 88. Again, November 22nd, 1963, Dallas, Texas. Lee Harvey Oswald helped make the Daily Plaza a tourist attraction. Nothing else to talk about.
You created an industry.
Right?
American jobs for Americans, and he gets nothing but shit for it. Yeah.
Yeah. February 22nd, 1974, Samuel Beck planned to kill Nixon by crashing a commercial airliner into the White House.
Oh, wow.
He hijacked, right?
I like it.
He hijacked a DC-9.
Oh, he got into a fucking airplane.
Yes, he did. Baltimore Washington International Airport after killing a Maryland aviator.
Oh,
wow. And was told that it could not take off with the wheel blocks still in place. After he shot both pilots, one later would die. An officer named Charles Butch Troiler shot Beck through the plane's door window. He survived long enough to kill himself, though.
Okay, that's a concern.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what's that?
That's a concern. That guy actually got into the airplane. That's a concern.
Right? Yeah, this was like the 70s. It was like the big year of the hijacker, right?
Yeah,
obviously had
Cuba, yeah.
Yeah, obviously had DB Cooper and all that happy stuff. So mid-August 1974, Miriam Kerbagovich, also known as the Alphabet Bomber. You ever heard of the Alphabet Bomber?
No, but the name there implies that all of the letters have been used.
Well done. Well done. Yeah, that's a banger name, right? The Alphabet Bomber, yeah. Said in a message that he was going to come to Washington, D.C. and throw a nerve gas bomb at President Gerald Ford.
Okay.
Then just 10 days into his
how would
presidency,
anybody tell if Ford had been gas bombed? How would we know?
Yeah. Within one day, the CIA, the U.S. Secret Service, and other law enforcement agencies worked out of the White House basement and identified Kerbagovich as the Alphabet Bomber, and he was arrested August 20th, 1979. So
that's some kick-ass police work then.
Great name, short, nothing.
No.
So the next bit here, we're still talking about Gerald Ford.
Okay.
Is really what I was gonna do as far as a
Gerald
story.
Ford.
Yeah, this
There's
story.
Anybody hating him enough to want him dead, isn't it?
Well, we already talked about one.
Yeah.
I've noted one. So when I started looking into this, that's where I found out all these other stories. Some of them already named because I never heard about this guy getting a fucking DC-9 and trying to crash into the White House. I never heard that story. So hey, there's some interesting shit we didn't know about.
I've never heard of that.
Here we go. September 5th, 1975, on the northern grounds of California State Capitol, Lynette Squeaky Fromme. Ever heard of her?
No.
She's a former member of the Charles Manson cult.
Okay.
She drew a cult, a Colt M1911, aka 45 caliber pistol, right?
Oh, Colt 45. Okay.
Yep. Drew it on Ford when he reached to shake her hand in the crowd. She had 4 cartridges in the pistol magazine, but none in the firing chamber. As a result, the gun did not fire. She was quickly restrained by Secret Service. Secret Service agent Larry Bonadorf Brown was sentenced to life in prison, but was released from custody on August 14th, 2009, 2 years, 8 months after Ford's death in 2006.
Okay.
So she was, I believe she was dying.
I bet you're leaving out a bunch of stuff, I guess.
Yeah. Her claim was always that, hey, look, I just wanted to show him that, guns are bad and we need to talk about this. That's what my point was.
But
if I wanted to kill him, I would have had a bullet in the chamber. Come on.
Why didn't she want to talk about guns when Nixon was in charge?
So that leads to Sarah Jane Moore. She was born in Charleston, West Virginia. She grew up in a relatively typical middle-class family. Moore was married and divorced 5 times. She had 4 children, so things are going good, right? In the early 1970s,
It's
she
difficult to get
became
along with.
yeah, and the early 1970s, she became involved in various left wing political causes. Moore's friends said that she became fascinated and obsessed with Patty Hearst.
Patty Hearst, okay.
So after Hearst was kidnapped by the Sudanese Liberation Army, her father Randolph Hearst created an organization called the People's in Need (PIN) to feed the poor in response to the SLA's claim that the eldest Hearst was a quote committed crimes against the people, which fucking did. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
But anyways, so around this time, Moore decided to volunteer as a bookkeeper for the PIN. She also then became to serve as an informant for the FBI
Oh dear.
because they wanted to look into the PIN because COINTELPRO, come on, look at our other episodes. You can figure it out, right?
Yeah.
So all I had to do is say left wing. You know they're going to be there. So, right?
Yeah, so when did she bring the dynamite?
Exactly. In San Francisco on September 22nd, 1975, just 17 days after Lynette Squeaky Fromm attempted assassination of Ford, Moore waited outside the St. Francis Hotel. It's okay, though, Barry, because Moore had been elevated or evaluated by Secret Service, but the agents decided that she posed no danger to the president. Mind you, she'd been picked up by the police on an alleged illegal gun charge the day before, but she was released.
They tagged her then as a threat. They just dismissed her.
No, they said, yeah, she's fine. Even the police confiscated her 44 caliber Bulldog revolver and 113 rounds of ammunition. But she's okay, Barry. Nothing to worry about. She had 113 rounds on her.
Okay. Where did she fit them all? Never mind. Right. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, yay! So she stayed at, whoops, I just lost the script. Where did it go? There it is. So she's standing in the crowd there across from the hotel. She was about 40 feet away from Ford when she fired a single shot at him, this time with a .38 caliber. She was using the gun she brought in haste that same morning and did not know that the sights were 6 inches off from the point of impact at distance, so she narrowly missed him.
Okay.
So that's why you need to go to the range, gun safety. You have to get evaluated. Get familiar with your gun, Barry. So you don't just randomly point it at somebody. And try
Again, if Gerald Ford was shot dead, how would we know?
After realizing she missed, Moore raised her arm again, and Oliver, known as Billy Sipple, a former Marine, dove toward her and grabbed her arm, possibly saving Ford's life. The bullet from the second shot ricocheted and hit John Ludwig, a 42-year-old taxi driver. He would survive. U.S. District Court's Judge Samuel Conti, who sentenced Moore, voiced his opinion that Moore could have killed Ford, and had she had her own gun, it would have been because her gun was faulty. That's right.
Yeah, that's true, right?
That's what spared Ford's life.
That's true, though.
But that and the intervention of Billy Simple.
Yeah.
So, real quick about Billy Simple, he was a gay man. He was friends with Harvey Milk. One of his boyfriends was the inspiration for Sugar Plum Fairy in Lou Reed's song On the Wild Side. So Harvey Milk, historically, I would say probably a good guy, but not in this case because he outed Billy Simple, who was somewhat closeted with his family and other people. He outed him to make it a gay rights issue.
Okay.
Which you could understand why he did that, but it was it fucked up Billy's life. He died a very unhappy life after that. His family ostracized him. Fucking sad story.
Yeah.
But as far as Moore goes, after serving 32 years of her life sentence, she was granted parole and released from prison on December 31st, 2007 at the age of 77. She was now her release was somewhat controversial given the nature of her crime, but it was in line with the federal guidelines for parole eligibility.
Okay.
So
no longer a threat, I'd say.
Yep. So again, if you're Gerald Ford, do you feel okay about the Secret Service?
I don't know. I mean, but thinking about Jack Ford is not really. It doesn't inspire any feelings at all. In
Yeah,
any,
it's just like
he's just a blank canvas. I don't know why anybody would want to kill him.
I'll get rid of this
I
picture.
don't know why anybody would want to vote for him either. But
Yeah, but I mean, if you're him as a person, you know what I mean? And these people are supposed to protect you. What the fuck, man? So,
you're alive, aren't you? Barely.
yeah, exactly. May 5th, 1979, Raymond Lee Harvey, come on, really, was arrested by Secret Service after being found carrying a starter pistol with blank rounds 10 minutes before Carter was to give a speech at the Civic Center Mall in L.A.
Okay.
Harvey had a history of mental illness.
Done that.
Yeah. Had a history of mental illness, but police had investigated his claim and that he was part of a 4-man operation to assassinate the president. According to Harvey, he fired several blanks from the starter pistol at the hotel roof the night before to test how much noise it would make. He claimed that he had been one of the plotters the night before, and that he knew a Julio, this man that was later identified as 21-year-old Oscar Espinoza.
That's not Julio.
He's a little off on the name, right? Or maybe that was just the name he gave him. At the time of his arrest, Harvey had 8 spent rounds in his pocket, as well as 70 unspent. So he had 70 bullets. Harvey and Espinoza were arrested, charged against the pair, ultimately dismissed for lack of evidence. John Hinckley Jr. came close to shooting Carter during the re-election campaign, but he lost his nerve. So, speaking of John, March 30th, 1981, John Hinckley Jr., the number one Jodie Foster fan, shot at Reagan outside the Washington Hilton Hotel in D.C. Reagan was seriously injured but survived the assassination attempt. Using a revolver, Hinckley wounded Reagan and police officer Delhante, Secret Service agent Tim McCarthy, and White House press secretary Jim Bradley. Jim Bradley was left disabled. Jim Brady, as in the Brady law, right? He was left disabled and died 33 years from his injuries.
We mentioned that in the Iran-Contra, didn't we?
Yep. Hinckley was reported seeking fame to impress, like I said, Jodie Foster. He had been fixated on watching one of the greatest films ever, Scorsese's Taxi Driver. Yep. He was found not guilty by reason of insanity and remained under institutional psychiatric care for 3 decades. In 2016, a federal judge ruled that Hinckley could be released from psychiatric care as he was considered to be no longer a threat to himself or others, albeit with many conditions.
How do you think Jodie Foster feels about that?
I kind of wonder too, right? After 2020, a ruling was issued that Hinckley may showcase his artwork, writings, and music publicly under his own name rather than anonymously that he had been in the past. Since then, he has maintained a YouTube channel for his music. His restrictions were unconditionally lifted June 2022.
Is it like all about Jodie Foster? That'd be amazing, wouldn't it?
It's actually not. It's okay. It's not terrible.
I ain't seen any of her movies in 20 years. I got to get my ass on a Panic Room. I heard that's a very good one. Yeah, Panic Room, it's called. Haven't seen anything in 20 years.
Have you ever listened to any of Charles Manson's music?
No.
It's not terrible.
He wrote 2 songs for the Beach Boys. I know that.
Yeah, but I mean, there's demos of his out there that you can listen to.
I'll be honest. The problem I have with Charles Manson is not that his songs. If he's a good at writing music, that's completely separate to the reason why I have a problem with him.
Maybe.
The shirt. What's going on with the shirt?
Oh, it's a knee. The Knights of Knee.
Oh, Nick. Sorry. Yes.
I want a shrubbery.
Yes. That's what they should call the. I always wondered why they didn't call the Ku Klux Klan that.
What?
The Knights who say beep.
Oh, okay. No. Anyways.
You're going to cut that out, eh? That's funny, man. You're going to cut it out?
No, I'm not going to cut it out.
Okay,
I'll leave it in. I'll let you hang, Chan.
I will hang alone, swinging on my own. Right.
April 13th, 1993. According to Kuwaiti authorities in an FBI investigation, just anyways, 14 Kuwaiti and Iraqi men believed to have been working for Saddam Hussein. Yep, smuggled bombs into Kuwaiti, planning to assassinate at that time former George H.W. Bush by planting a car bomb during his visit.
Fair enough.
To Kuwaiti University 3 months after he had left office in January. The former president was on a visit to Kuwaiti in '93 to commemorate the coalition victory over Iraq. Boy, that'll,
Victory.
last trip. Yeah. When Kuwaiti officials claimed that to have foiled an alleged assassination plot and arrested suspects. At the time, the former president was accompanied by his wife, 2 sons, and former Secretary of State John A. Baker III, former Chief of Staff John Sunno, and Treasurer Nicholas Bradley. Let's think about if that had actually, just saying. Anyways.
That would have been hilarious.
Of the 17 people, Kuwaiti authorities arrested 2 suspects. Wow, I'm not even going to try to pronounce these names. Let's just say 2 people were arrested. Retracted their confessions at trial, claiming that they were coerced.
Yeah. Well, we spoke about Kuwait a bit in the Operation Ajax, didn't we?
Yeah, wouldn't be surprised, right? A Kuwaiti court convicted all of them, but one defendants. Then President Bill Clinton responded by launching a cruise missile attack on the Iraqi intelligence building in Mosul district of Baghdad.
The American
Why not?
response.
Why not? Why not? Right? Yeah. The plot was used as one of the justifications for the Iraqi resolution authorization.
441, is it?
2003. Yep. 2003 U.S. invasion of the country. And analysis by the CIA's counterterrorism center concludes that the assassination plot was likely fabricated by Kuwaiti authorities. However, at the time, the FBI established the plot had been directed by the Iraqi intelligence service, the IIS, and the CIA had received information suggesting that Saddam Hussein had authorized the assassination attempt to get revenge on the U.S. I idle. Smells like a bunch of horse shit. I'm just saying.
It's impossible to tell.
Right, but if I'm a betting man, I'm betting this whole bullshit.
It sounds like it, yeah.
Yeah. May 10th, 2005, while President George W. Bush was giving a speech in the Freedom Square in Georgia, not this Georgia, but the other Georgia, Vladimir Artyomov threw a live Soviet-made RGD-5 hand grenade towards the podium. The grenade had its pin pulled out, but it did not explode.
Well, it's Soviet-made.
Yep, because a red tartan handkerchief was wrapped tightly around it and prevented the lever from detaching. After escaping that day, he was later arrested July 2005. During his arrest, he was killed. He killed the Interior Minister agent and was convicted to a life sentence in January 6.
He pulled a grenade and tied it up and then threw it. What does that mean?
I think what I think it is. I think he kept it wrapped in a.
Before he had it wrapped. Okay.
Yeah, I think he was trying to conceal it.
Okay, that makes sense.
You know what I mean? But then think, maybe I need to take it out. So yeah, but
that makes a lot more sense than what I was thinking. That he pulled the pin out and then wrapped it up. Yeah. What are you doing, you clown?
Yeah,
those Georgians. Everything is potatoes with them. All is potato.
June 2013. 2 white supremacists, Glendon Scott Crawford of Galloway, New York, Eric Fite of Hudson, New York, were arrested to a plot to kill Muslim Americans and other perceived enemies of Israel with a homeland radiation gun.
What?
Homemade radiation gun. Yep.
What the fuck is a homemade radiation gun?
Described by Crawford as Hiroshima on a light switch.
Oh, these guys are just insane. Okay.
It was later emerged that Crawford had suggested using the device against President Obama as well as several other targets.
But they don't have a radiation gun.
No.
They have like a water pistol or something.
they have something that they think is.
No.
I couldn't find out whether or not what the fuck it was.
Or a
but
shim on a light
no-
switch.
Yeah, nobody was reporting that it was.
It's not even a light switch on a light switch.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like, Jesus Christ. Well, I just love that description. It's fantastic.
Mm.
So,
I feel like the drama there will not be backed up by the action.
No.
We got you all. What?
No, you don't. Yeah, I would have loved to have just seen that. Or like, got you. They just like flashed the light at him. He's
Like a camera flash, yeah.
what? Yeah. September 6, 2017.
No.
Gregory Lee Langen, a 42-year-old man from Bismarck, North Dakota, attempted to assassinate President Donald J. Trump. The J is for genius. In Madden, North Dakota, while Trump was visiting his state on a public rally public support. Leah stole a forklift from an oil refinery and drove towards the president's motorcade.
This is a little bit of Wile E. Coyote.
Right, exactly. After the forklift became jammed within the refinery,
No,
apparently he got it stuck in the doorway or some shit. You know, he couldn't figure out what the fuck to do.
Yeah.
So he fled on foot. He was arrested by pursuing police.
Good.
While interviewed in detention, he admitted that he intended to murder the president by flipping the presidential limousine over with the forklift.
I wouldn't have killed him. The limousine is armored, so that wouldn't have killed him.
That's just fucking genius. That's fucking great.
Yeah.
I love it.
He should have painted a big hole on a rock and put the highway through it and says, "Ha! I've got you now. I've got you."
Yeah, he didn't go to the Acme store.
An Acme forklift.
Oh fuck! The man pled guilty to the attempted attack, stealing the forklift-related charges, and several unrelated crimes. On the same day, consequently, he had been sentenced to 20 years in prison.
Unrelated crimes on the same day.
I don't know. He must have been off
any
his
crimes
gourd.
he committed on the same day would be related to that. No,
You would think. I don't know.
stole a pack of cigarettes from a gas station.
I guess.
2 hours beforehand.
Yeah. His defense attorney noted.
Quit smoking.
His defense attorney noted that he was going through a serious psychiatric crisis at the time.
Oh, okay, that's fair enough. Yeah.
So, far as I saw, he's still in prison, but he has been, treated for mental health issues, so.
Okay. He's mad.
Yeah. May 23rd, 2023. Sai Varshid Kanadula? Sure, I don't know. A 19-year-old man from Chesterfield, Missouri. Boy, it didn't sound like that.
One of those Missouri names.
Yeah. Drove a rented box truck into the barrier that separates the White House grounds from the public. Shortly thereafter, he was taken into custody by the U.S. State Park Police. They found a Nazi flag in the truck. He expressed admiration for the Third Reich and stated his intentions were to kill the president and seize power. The president, of course, at that time was Joe Biden. Genocide Joe. Genocide Joe did not get killed. So
again, how do we know?
Yeah. Hey. Have you seen that though? That they people like Shapiro, Tim Pool, and all these other asset-ed shits.
I don't see anything.
So they're kind of like putting the idea that what we're seeing now is that Biden is actually like an AI or a dummy. That he's either dead or sequestered, and it's like just whatever, fuck off, whatever. So, yeah. I mean. Again, how would we know? But yeah, okay.
How would we know if he was an AI dummy? How would we know?
Yeah. July 13th, 2024, former President Donald Trump is shot at, wounded during a rally in Butler, Pennsylvania. One attendee of the rally was killed. Secret Service kills the shooter. The FBI subsequently identified the would-be assassin as Thomas Matthew Crooks of, where was he from? He's outside of Pittsburgh. Bethel Park, Pittsburgh. So. And from what we know, at least now,
we're all outside of Pittsburgh, aren't we?
Yeah.
And I am currently outside of Pittsburgh.
Yes, you are.
That's where I live. Where's Barry live? Outside Pittsburgh. Okay.
Yeah. Like I'm outside Dublin.
There you go. Yeah. Where's Seamus live? Outside Dublin. Yeah. Just out
there. And that's it. I just thought it would be kind of fun to go down the rabbit hole of.
Yes.
I mean, the story about Gerald Ford I thought was kind of hilarious.
My favorite one is the
fucked up.
DC plane.
Right? Like, what the fuck, man? Why did we never heard? And the guy at the fork, like, how have we never heard about that shit? That's fucking crazy.
That's a country and western song waiting to happen, isn't it?
Exactly. That's fucking great. That's gold, man.
Yes, it's brilliant.
So, but yeah, that's the show. That's all I got as far as tonight's episode. So,
well, it's just as well you didn't tell me about it.
Yeah, I figured you'd just have more fun.
Yeah,
laughing at it and spitting off.
Yeah. That's a history of presidential assassination attempts.
Yep.
Some of which were successful.
Some were good shit.
Andrew Jackson beat the shit out of the guy with himself.
Right?
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Things were just fast and loose in the early days of the American project, weren't they?
Fast so Jackson is actually Trump's favorite president.
Well, he doesn't know anything about him, so I guess that wouldn't.
Yeah.
Oh, Jackson is he the guy who bought half of the country?
Yep. So we're probably gonna. I won't do an episode on him, but there's some stuff related to him I want to do an episode on.
Are we going to tell the people about our plan?
No, not that part. This is just a separate.
There's no plan, people.
Well, we could talk about that before the show's over.
There's a plan.
Yeah, we have something coming up. But no, I there's something he's involved in that kind of ties into what we talk about all the time. Okay. So I'll talk to you about it after the show. But anyways,
he arranged a coup in Iran, did he?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, but that's all I got.
That's cool.
So
that works. A relevant, timely episode.
Cool.
I like that.
Yeah. I don't know. We got anything else we need to do, Barry?
I think we do the what do we do? Oh, right, yeah. Every episode we do this thing called I forget it's called what news or something, and Seamus will tell you about now. So it's the FBI. Yeah, your FBI go first.
Okay, I'll just jump into it.
Yeah.
Like a freaking animal. I say.
I explained the whole thing, but unfortunately the thing went over it. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Anyways, speaking of Donald Trump getting shot, so they there was this big back and forth because the director kind of said that they weren't sure that he actually got hit by a bullet. He got pissed. Oh, I got hit by a bullet. I'm the most macho fucking president ever. You know how he is, right? Now they're saying it was most likely because they were concerned or thoughts that it was actually the teleprompter had been hit. It was possibly a shard of glass or something from it.
Okay.
Now they're saying it was probably a bullet fragment, although the White House doctor is like, "Oh no, it was definitely a bullet."
I mean, let's face it. If it was a fragment of a teleprompter and I was Donald Trump, that wouldn't make a difference to me.
No, it shouldn't fucking matter, right? And what about the guy that fucking died? Yeah. Why don't you ask him about what if it fucking matters what you got fucking struck by or didn't get? I mean, fuck off. Yeah. Anyways, again, more Donald Trump related news. The Justice Department reached a $2 million settlement with FBI officials whose text infuriated Donald Trump. So there's these two FBI agents. I believe they're dating. That was another thing that was kind of right.
Oh no, I think I remember this.
Yeah, and that they were sending texts back and forth, and that they were not too kind to Trump. Yeah, the Justice Department just put it all out there. Yeah, so they're like, "Hey,
the Justice Department named them."
Yeah, so they're like, "Fuck you, damages." So they settled for $2 million.
They should never have named them. They should have just said agents.
Yeah, it's fucked up. It's fucking stupid, is what it is. And just to tie into another story we've been covering, the mayor in Oakland, the FBI has now seized phones from her.
So this is the war between the mayor of Oakland and the FBI.
Yeah,
continues.
Yes, and I don't know if you followed anything about in Oakland or in LA, but there's a big thing about the homelessness. Apparently, her boyfriend is part of this committee to help the homeless and people that the mayor, you know, as far as the police department have been against her, the ones that are like more like LA, where they're literally like, you know, want to put him in internment camps or just fucking boot him to jail. Just, you know, being homeless is illegal. Fucking, just fucking, you know, Nazi shit. It's fucking terrible. So apparently that might be part of the deal there too. I don't know. It's interesting story. I'm kind of curious where it goes. Maybe I'm totally off base, but there just seems to be a lot of bullshit. So
it's also kind of funny.
It's
The
interesting.
FBI is used to going in here and going in. They don't know what the fuck they're dealing with
Mhm.
Oakland. They're going into
Yeah.
Oakland and starting trouble. Nah, man, you're gonna get
Yeah.
fucked up. The Oakland Massive will fuck you up.
Yeah, and I believe that there is. I think we covered before that there was a shooting involved there with the FBI that was
Mm.
suspicious, and I believe she has also like spoken out against the FBI over that
Yeah,
because there were some talks with that. So yeah, it's a whole
thing.
it's a thing.
Mm.
It's a
And
thing.
there's gonna be more developments on that. The mayor
Hopefully,
of Oakland versus the FBI.
yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
my
already
money's
on
on
her side.
Oakland, man. My money's on Oakland. I think the
Yeah.
mayor of Oakland will win that.
Yep, I'm on her side already without knowing anything, I guess. So, but yeah, okay. So that's all I got. So
Okay, will I do the CIA stuff?
do it.
Okay, here we go. CIA 1 is ex-CIA analyst charged with spying for South Korea.
Ooh.
A New York grand jury has indicted a former US CIA analyst on charges of acting as a spy for the South Korean government in exchange for luxury goods, bags, and fancy meals. And she is called Sue Mi Terry. And that's on the BBC site if you want to check it out. The next one is our regular feature, so roll the tape.
Oh, that thing?
Where the hell is William Burns? William Burns, William Burns. Where the hell is William Burns? William Burns this week.
Rome.
Where the hell is William Burns? William Burns, William Burns. Where the hell is William Burns? William Burns this week.
It never gets old.
It's so stupid.
Uh,
He's in Rome. He's in Rome, folks.
he's in Rome.
He's in Rome. He's facing growing pressures to reach a ceasefire deal. He's in there with
Ceasefire with Rome.
he's with Israeli and Qatari lads
Oh, okay.
in Rome to talk as Netanyahu faces growing calls to seal the deal. Netanyahu is under pressure from
Oh,
also, the last link I have is the Thomas Crooks conspiracy theories aren't going anywhere.
yeah,
Thomas Crooks,
yeah.
as you've just revealed, being the name of the man who I guess shot Donald Trump, or at least tried to if he wasn't.
Yep.
The CIA said these claims are utterly false, absurd, and damaging. The CIA spokesman said. The CIA had no relationship whatsoever with Thomas Crooks. Now, I would have believed that, except that they said that, and now I'm starting to think maybe they do. Because the CIA only really comes out that hard denying something if it's true, right? I mean, I'm not even exaggerating. So we'll find out in 50 years that, in fact, he was a CIA asset and he was under CIA orders.
I'm going to go on a limb and say he had nothing to do with this.
Oh, no, I don't think it had anything to do with it. I'm just being funny, sorry. But the CIA, the fact that the CIA had to deny it so hard is always, I didn't even question it until just now,
Yeah. It honestly sounds like it again, this is, very cursory, just from what little things I've read. It sounds like he just wanted a target. It sounds like he
didn't even have a problem with Donald Trump.
I think he had a problem with everybody. It's not like a mental health thing.
He was very right wing, I think. Yeah.
So, yeah, kind of fucked up. So, fun thing did you know about Netanyahu? This is a fun thing. I just want to throw this out there. So, apparently, it's kind of a custom thing if dignitaries come into town that we would service their laundry and help them, as far as while they're here. That motherfucker, every time he shows up, has suitcases. He purposely brings as a fuck you. Go fucking do my laundry, bitch. Yeah. What a fucking douche. What a fucking douche.
I knew somebody who worked in the EU, I guess what they have instead of the foreign ministry. And she said they deal with all sorts of countries all the time. And she said the only people who are absolutely intolerable was the Israeli delegation.
Yeah.
The Zionists, you just can't talk to them about anything. They know everything. They start dictating shit to you when you're trying to have a negotiation, They're just horrible. Man, if I was an Israeli Jew, I would not be happy with the Zionists right now.
Right. You don't want people representing you like that. That's fucking wrong.
No. And in fairness to Israeli Jews, they are hitting the streets in record numbers.
Yes, they are.
Demonstrations, hundreds of thousands of people marching on Tel Aviv, which is where they should be marching. That's where all the money is.
Because they have plenty of things to be pissed off about because they're not doing anything to bring back their hostages. They're doing more efforts to kill and endanger the hostages.
Those people arrested for protesting Netanyahu in Congress. There was people outside and they were arrested. And all the people who were arrested were families of the hostages.
Yeah.
So
it's fucking gross.
Anti-Semitic? I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah. Anywho, enough of that.
That's our show.
Do we want to say anything about what we might be doing possibly next week?
We have
Possibly.
no plans.
No plans. We're not
You
going to
mean
talk
me,
about
my
it?
script?
Huh?
My script, you mean?
I thought we might be doing the other thing we talked about.
Okay, let's try that.
Do we want to bring it up now, or you just want to wait?
You talk about it. Talk about it in cryptic terms.
Okay. Cryptic terms. You want to just fucking say?
Okay.
So we're gonna expand this to not only covering, obviously what we have been covering. I think the founding fathers need to be taken down a peg. Just saying. So we're gonna do an episode series, but we're gonna throw at least one out there here soon, possibly next time, focusing on one and kind of go from there. So stay
That is the
tuned.
plan. We're going to attack the founding fathers one by one.
Yep.
Until they scream for mercy, gibbering in their shower, their cold shower, hugging their knees and rocking back and forth.
Yeah. There's only two founding fathers that I'm okay with. Aaron Burr, because he did a good thing, but fucking killing a fascist, and fucking Thomas Paine.
Never ever in my life have I ever seen anybody signal the number 2 like that.
Well, I don't want to get I don't want to get shot in a Nazi occupied basement, you know.
Oh, okay.
So you don't get the reference? Okay.
Yeah, the Inglourious Bastards, isn't it?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyways, that's the show. Hopefully we'll be doing that shit in 2 weeks. So,
Thank you for watching this timely and relevant show.
Yeah.
And we'll be doing something
sort of relevant.
the script of which we are both aware next time.
Yeah. Till then, guys. See you later. Bye.